Good evening. I am Anushka Pranit Bandara. Today I will talk about a critical case study, a ransomware attack that organized through software supply chain vulnerabilities, and how we can use ISO 27001 standard, especially Annex A.16 to guide our response, recovery, and resilience. Uh, this presentation is not just about damage control. It's about transforming a weakness into opportunities for long-term cybersecurity readiness. Let's begin by understanding what happened. A medium-sized financial institute recently suffered a significant ransomware attack. Its root cause is a malicious component embedded in an open source software package integrated unknowingly during a third party update. The attacker gained access, moved laterally through internal systems, encrypted customer and financial data, and issued a ransom demand. This breach exposed critical gaps in institutions' incident response capabilities, vendor oversight, and real-time threat monitoring. Let's begin with the initial response. Once ransomware was identified, our first steps as the incident response team would be isolate compromised system, halting lateral movement immediately. We had then alert key stakeholders, involve law enforcement, and begin forensic analysis to identify the breach source and scope. From a ethical and legal perspective, we would not recommend paying the ransom as it fuel criminal ecosystems and provide no guarantees of recovery. These actions directly align with Annex A.16 1.1 and A.16 1.4, which stress prompt identifications and structured response procedures to information security incident. Once the threat is confirmed, the next priority is containment to stop the bleeding before the spread further. Containment is where we minimize the impact. This means enforcing network segmentation, temporary disabling user account and admin credentials, blocking outbound communications from compromised endpoints, and also isolating all infected systems from the rest of network. We would initiate clean system recovery once after through validations of backups data. These containment strategies are rooted in Annex A.16.1.5, which emphasize limiting adverse effect to ensure continuity of unaffected systems. But during any incidents, how we communicate is just as critical as how we respond. Internal and external communication protocol. ISO 27001 recognize the power of communication according to the Annex A.16.1.2 and A.16.1.7. All internal and external stakeholders must be kept informed clearly and consistently. The includes internal teams like IT and risk management, senior leadership, third-party software vendors, relevant regulatory authorities, and eventually customers once the scope is verified. We must balance transparency with control, providing accurate update without escalating fear or misinformation. Alongside strong communication, this breach also exposed fundamental mistakes in access control. Strengthen access control to reduce internal risk exposed. We must strengthen our access control mechanism. This involves implementing role-based access control, enforcing multi-factor authentication across critical assets, regulatory reviewing privilege use accounts, and applying the principles of least privilege. However, access controls falls under Annex A.9. Its integration support Annex A.16 by ensuring that future incidents are less likely to escalate due to the privilege misuse. But access control is access control is only one layer. Real-time monitoring is our early warning system. Real-time monitoring and detection. The attacker in this case moved undetected for far too long. A better defense would have involved security information and event management system that consolidate logs and raise alerts, intrusion detection systems to monitor for anomalies, and also endpoint detection and response tools that provide visibility into user behavior. ISO 27001's Annex A.16.1.3 emphasize early detections and reporting, which is critical to shortening the attacker's hold up time and limiting damage. However, none of this matter if the that enter through a trusted partner. Let's address that next. This incident began with a third-party software component. To prevent recurrence, our vendors must adapt secure coding practices, continue vulnerabilities scanning, patch management automations, and provide software bills of materials. We must also audit third-party contracts to ensure they were compliant with Annex A.15.1.1, which calls for effective supply security controls. The supply chain is only as strong it, it is weakness link, and in this case, the link must be fortified. So, how do we bring it all together? The answer lies in building a resilience ISO aligned incident response framework, designing a robust incident response plan. ISO 27001 Annex A.16.1.6 and A.16.1.7 stress the needs for repeatable and testable incident response plan. Our recommendation plans include detection, containment, response, recovery, and review, and also clearly assign roles and escalation path and playbook designed to ransomware, data breaches, and supply chain attacks, and also regular tabletop exercise and post-incident evaluations to improve. This approach transforms chaos into transparency and prepares the institutions to respond with confidence. Let's wrap up the some final recommendations. In conclusion, these incidents expose weaknesses, but it also gives us clarity. A reminder that security is not just technical, it is a procedural and strategic. By aligning with the ISO 27001 Annex A.16, we build structured response mechanism, improve detection and containment, enhance vendor oversight, and foster trust through transparent communication. Let's commit to being proactive, not reactive, and turn today's lesson into tomorrow resilience. Thank you.